Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, where I discover the most interesting facts about weapons, dispel myths and compare what we see on our screens with real-life examples. Ever wondered what it feels like to take down an enemy in complete silence? Today we're diving into the world of the VSS rifle, a weapon so deadly and stealthy it's no wonder it's often referred to as the silent killer. Join us as we explore the history, power and controversy surrounding this mysterious firearm. The VSS stands for Special Sniper Rifle in Russian, and it was named that because it was used by special forces units like the KGB and GRU. Its nickname Vintorez stuck because that's what the designers used in their documentation. Back in the late 1970s, special forces units had to make do with modified versions of regular army weapons, which weren't great for stealthy operations. Silencers decreased the accuracy of assault rifles and the pistols were just too big and clunky. So in 1983, the KGB and GRU General Staff teamed up with the Central Research Institute of Precision Engineering to create a sniper rifle that could provide greater stealth and support for special forces. The technical requirements for the rifle were a bit tricky, but the VSS was eventually developed to meet them. The VSS was created with some pretty impressive goals in mind: taking out bad guys from a distance of 400 meters without making a peep, blasting through steel army helmets at the same distance of 400 meters, using fancy pants optics during the day and super cool night vision scopes after dark, being light and compact for easy carrying and pretending to be a regular old civilian object, and being able to quickly break down into basic parts for transport and stealthy hiding. Now, here's a little background info. If a bullet breaks the sound barrier, it's going to make a loud bang no matter what. Even if you got a device that can suppress up to 90% of the gunshot noise, the bullet itself is still faster than sound, so it'll create a crazy loud racket. When something moves faster than the speed of sound, it creates a sonic boom, and that noise you hear means the sound wave just passed you by. So it's almost impossible to silence a supersonic bullet. Plus, even when the bullet is still in the barrel, it breaks the sound barrier and continues traveling faster than sound, gradually slowing down. So despite the gunpowder igniting, the bullet will still make a lot of noise. You'll definitely take out your target before they hear the shot, but their buddies will hear the shot and come for you. In other words, the creators of the VSS had a few tasks to accomplish. They needed to reduce the bullet's speed and suppress the gas that propels it. The first version of the rifle, designated as RG-036 and used the 7.62mm cartridge based on the Kalashnikov assault rifle. This rifle had a unique gas system which simplified and lightened the weapon's construction, but negatively affected its reliability in various operating conditions. Therefore, a second version was created in late 1981 with the same index but using the RG-037 cartridge and a more traditional gas system that passed through a side hole in the barrel wall with a rigidly locked bolt. This system reduced the sound pressure to the level of a regular pistol. Despite its compact size of only 815mm and weighing 1.8 kilograms, the rifle could kill a person behind a 1.6mm steel sheet. The new rifle passed the test, but in 1985, new requirements were established, namely the ability to penetrate body armor at a range of 400 meters. The rifle's designers realized that current ammunition would be ineffective in meeting this requirement, so they abandoned it and completely redesigned the sniper rifle to use the newly developed 9x39mm cartridge, which has a larger weight and caliber, allowing it to satisfy the customer's requirements. In 1987, the current version of the VSS was put into service with the KGB and GRU and later served as the basis for the development of the AS-Val rifle. So here's the deal with the VSS suppressor. When a bullet travels through the barrel, the gunpowder gases escape through little holes in the walls and into the expansion chamber of the suppressor. But here's the cool part. Because the gases enter the chamber sequentially, their temperature drops, which reduces the volume and output pressure of the sound. Basically, it turns one loud bang into a bunch of little more manageable pops. And when those leftover sound waves bounce around inside the suppressor, they cancel each other out, leaving you with a much quieter shot. The VSS first saw action in August of 1990 during a prison riot in Georgia. Special Forces units from the KGB and the internal troops of the MVD used it to take back the prison, and it was also used during the siege in Moscow in 1993. Let me give you the lowdown on the VSS sniper rifle and how it stacks up against your average sniper rifle. So in general, the VSS is a pretty unique piece of weaponry. It's compact, lightweight, and can shoot subsonic bullets without breaking the sound barrier, thanks to its built-in suppressor. This makes it perfect for sneaky sniper missions where you want to remain undetected. But how does it compare in terms of power and effectiveness? Well, it's important to note that the VSS fires a 9x39mm bullet, which is wider and heavier than your typical sniper rifle. This means it can pack a punch and take out enemies with a single shot. But in terms of raw power, VSS is not the scariest rifle out there, as its muzzle energy is only around 700 joules, which is roughly 2 times more powerful than a Glock. That is not too impressive compared to the most of rifles that can usually have more than 3000 joules of muzzle energy. However, another downside to the VSS is that it has a shorter effective range compared to traditional sniper rifles. It's optimal for distances up to 400 meters, whereas your average sniper rifle can hit targets up to 1000 meters away. Another thing to consider is that the VSS isn't the most accurate rifle out there. It's not designed for long-range precision shots, but rather for quick and silent takedowns at closer ranges. Additionally, it's worth noting that a faster bullet speed can make it easier to shoot accurately because it travels in a more straight trajectory. With slower bullets like those used in the VSS, the bullet drop and windage becomes more significant factors that can affect the accuracy of the shot. Skilled shooters can compensate for these factors, but it requires more practice and experience compared to shooting with a faster bullet speed. So to sum it up, the VSS is a specialized weapon with its own set of pros and cons. If you're going for stealth and power at close to medium range, it's definitely a solid choice. But if you need to take out targets from a distance, you might want to opt for a more traditional sniper rifle. But let's see how realistically the Ventores is portrayed in video games. The VSS gained most of its popularity from Call of Duty and PUBG. However, despite being a cool rifle in real-life situations, many PUBG players don't like it very much because of the slow projectile speed, low damage, and short range. This isn't surprising, considering that the bullet speed of the Ventores is only 330 meters per second, which is slower than even a revolver. But this is actually quite realistic because the rifle uses subsonic ammo, which works perfectly with the built-in suppressor that almost completely eliminates the sound of shooting. As for the damage in the game, the VSS is surprisingly weak and not capable of one-shotting an opponent in the head. This is quite frustrating because even some handguns in PUBG can kill with a single shot, while in reality, the VSS will definitely eliminate an enemy that was shot in the head. Additionally, in PUBG, if the enemy has a larger caliber weapon, you will most likely lose in a sniper shootout because their bullets will reach you before yours and knock your arm off. This is also quite realistic considering that VSS bullets have a pretty slow speed compared to most sniper rifles. But experienced players know the true power of the Ventores. Due to its suppressor, scope, and subsonic bullets, it can shoot without breaking the sound barrier, making it almost impossible to detect the shooter at a distance greater than 150 meters. Moreover, it has an extended magazine that holds 20 rounds and 2 firing modes, single and automatic. So even if you encounter someone at close or medium range, you still have a chance to outshoot them. So despite some controversy among players in PUBG, the VSS is a sniper's dream come true. If you're a sneaky strategist or just love sniping from a distance, the VSS is your go-to gun. And if you're playing with a squad, you can hang back and support your team from 100 to 200 meters away. Now, if you're a fan of games like PUBG, you might be wondering why you've never seen the VSS's full potential in action. That's because in its original form, this rifle could silently take out targets from up to 400 meters away and even penetrate a helmet. If that was allowed in games, it would be way too overpowered. So to keep things fair, game developers have had to tone down the VSS's capabilities. I hope you found that as fascinating as I did. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next video.